Welcome back to Rivals on the Pitch. This is International Week. We are during an international break. Well needed. We got some breaking news, La Bomba, for Tottenham Hotspur. We're also going to cover the World Cup. It is in the U.S. We are going through some things here. So we'll discuss some of the concerns and gripes that we have about this tournament right now. We'll talk about some of the teams that qualified, some surprises, or maybe not so surprises because they haven't qualified in a long time.
Yeah,
but World Cup missing out on some big names. So yeah, let's get right into it.
Oh yeah, World Cup. But yeah, let's get into the breaking news. I sort of hate it because it's breaking news now, but when this episode comes out, they'll be like, "These guys are behind." You know,
Yeah.
Sorry for the delay.
He did just get a sign. I mean,
Yeah.
people knew that he was gonna kind of get signed.
Yeah.
For a few days, it just kind of became official today. For a different Italian, we got a different story. Roberto De Zerbi is signing with Tottenham. I think he signed a 5-year deal after Igor Tudor and Tottenham have mutually decided to part ways. Obviously, I think a lot of it had to do with not just the passing of his father, but I think there's a few things that might have games that maybe performances that should have been a little bit better. I think with the passing of his father, which, prayers.
Condolences.
I think I don't think he probably decided, hey, it's not the best time for me, So I think it was a mutual
100%.
agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we go on and ahead and we sign Roberto De Zerbi, which right now has split the fan base.
Fan base? Forget the fan base. Let's get to you, Alan.
To me.
The Tottenham Hotspurs fan, the representative of Spurs in Rivals on the Pitch. What are you feeling right now? Hot mic right now. Let it all out, Alan.
I'm not. So, look, I'm stuttering. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of times where we brought up the appointment of a new manager who's available, and you kept bringing up De Zerbi, and I said no, I don't want him.
Ooh,
and I when this news came out, I still don't agree with it. I think his character, he's volatile. I think there's two versions of this manager that you have to deal with. You have to deal with the tactics, which is the positive, but then you have to deal with him as a person and the character. And I feel as though we're compromising that to get the football, and I don't think that's the right answer. There's some questionable things that he said in the past, with him and with Greenwood and how he defended him, saying he'll defend him like his son. And, the way his outburst to, he's only been at the clubs for 18 months, maybe a little bit longer, but he doesn't, you could see he's a little self-destructive. I don't know if self-destructive, but a little explosive,
you could say
so
passionate in a way, if you want to put that in a nice way. But
there's different ways of being passionate, but I just don't think this is what this team needs right now. I mean, is this maybe a short-term solution? Maybe he does keep us in, but what I want is, sure, he keeps us in, and then Tottenham turns around and sacks him. I don't care if it's going to cost us $14 million. I don't care if it costs us 20. If we sack him and we stay up and we go get someone else, cool. You know what? We splurged and we wasted some money, but hey, at least, we can get someone in. But I think that's another part is the deal that we gave him. Kind of
third highest paid manager in the Prem.
Yeah.
What I heard.
I think something like that. Third highest paid personnel in the Premier League or something. But you're splurging on this very reactive decision making that you're doing. I think it's just leads up to like it just shows how bad the ownership has been up to this point. Where how are you offering this guy a long term contract when he doesn't have the track record for it? When in the summer you're gonna have bigger names. I feel, or not bigger names, but names worth building off of. You have Nagelsmann, with the German team. You have Pochettino, which if you want to unite the fans, you go with Pochettino.
Yeah.
You have who else is coming out of the World Cup? I mean, you have
Carlos
Xabi
Ancelotti.
Alonso. I know maybe, but you have I know Xabi Alonso is a far fetched, but you still have that. Like how what would he have said to a deal like that? What would have
Exactly.
damn, why do I always forget this guy's name from PSG?
Oh, Luis Enrique.
Luis Enrique.
Yeah, Luis Enrique.
If you offered this money, how many people, how many attitudes would change? How many of them would have taken a deal like this? And I think we're wasting money. This team doesn't know how to spend. It doesn't know how to run efficiently. We should just show it time after time with these poor decisions that we're making. And like I said, you're splitting the fan base after we were all united. We're all behind the team. We all came out. We had a parade for I won't say a parade, but a gathering
Yeah.
for the Forest game, right? And now it's like people are going back and forth, like, this is not the signing we need, and people are like, oh, shut up, like
So
it
panic
doesn't
buy?
matter as long as we stay in. It is. Maybe it's not so much of a. It is a panic buy. It is a panic buy. We probably would have offered him something in the summer, but it would have been this lucrative. It wouldn't have been this big of a deal.
Yeah.
So in order to get him through the door now, we're shedding all this money. We're offering all this. Who knows what clauses? Apparently, there's no relegation clause in it, but I'm sure there's other different clauses in there,
Yeah.
and I just don't fully agree with it. The football might be something exciting to look forward to, but I don't know. Being on the inside, I have a completely different perspective of it. Like because you kept mentioning, oh, why not De Zerbi, right? Because I'm
Yeah.
sure from your perspective, it's like, oh, he plays good football. You look at what he did with Brighton,
Yeah, exactly.
um,
Shakhtar Donetsk.
even with Marseille.
Yeah.
But then it's like I'm the one that's gonna have to deal with him. You know what I mean?
But I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, of course, Brian. The thing is, people were saying like, I think it's smart to go for him in a way because he is Premier League proven, so he knows the league, which is great on that end. He look at what he's done with Brighton. We talked about Brighton. They have one of those that, like we said, like you can put any coach in there. They just had that system, and look at what he done with Brighton. He had Caicedo, McAllister, these type of players, and he's
Trossard,
gotten them. Yeah, Trossard, and he's got them to the levels that is why Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal went for these players. So I feel like that, if everything goes according to plan and the vision they want, he can bring out the best out of some of those players that you have because you have a lot of young players, and I think that would be more attractive, you know, football, like you said, for Spurs. But of course, to go about his attitude, I just feel like
just baggage.
I
There's
don't
a lot of
know
baggage.
baggage, but you've done. I'm not trying to say like the nice route, like nice guys finish last. Thomas Frank, nice guy, and look what happened to him. Igor Tudor, I don't think he was like semi nice in a way as well, and he just couldn't get the job done. I just think they need like a kick in the ass in a way, and I feel like yeah, he does have he's known to be outspoken, and I feel like he does speak up. Maybe the players will speak up, and then when people speak up, they're like, you know what? Let's hear what all this ruckus is about. Maybe he does have a point, and it might be eye opening to them in a certain way, and they might look at themselves in the mirror and be like, all right, you know what? We are the problem. Look at what we've done. We spent money on the wrong players. We've done a lot of things bad, like you've mentioned. They're a poorly run club, to a certain extent, and I feel like maybe that's just something they need at this point. They just need like a like a drill sergeant to get him through this tough time, and then maybe when he has a summer, he can, it be a different character. Right now, it's just survival mode. Right now, you need to be like a dick, to to
It's
to
not.
to wake them up. You know,
It's not just that too, but it's how many times we were up here shouting at, not shouting, but judging Arteta for his comments with Thomas Partey,
oh yeah.
stuff like that, where it's like,
And you heard that he did say that his first signing would be Mason Greenwood.
no, see that at that
You
point,
know, yeah,
I
that's
can't.
you can't go back to England, and then that's where the problem occurred. I know it's a bad look. I understand you have to protect, and of course we know he might know more about it because he spends time with them compared to what we know. But yeah, it's just a bad look. Like, yeah, when Party went to Spain, I was like, that's a bad look. Who would want to pick up a guy like that? Greenwood, I understand he's younger. People make mistakes, but there have been players. I remember there's a Liverpool player, Flanagan. He had the exact same thing. I think he hit his girlfriend. Liverpool went seeked help, but eventually he got dropped, and then I don't know, he went to some other club, and he's unheard of now. He's not heard of. But I just think I don't care how good of a footballer you are, certain things don't mix, and I think that'd be a bad look as well. But yeah, of course,
No,
it'll be your problem, and maybe there'll be some backlash. Maybe they'll be like, nope, sorry, we won't allow that. You can have anyone else except Greenwood, but it's between the owners and Zerbi, and maybe what the players will think about it as well.
yeah, I think I'd rather have a club that stands on values and morals and say, hey, this is what we accept and not accept. Like I'd rather have a
Yeah,
team that isn't gonna turn a blind eye or lower their standards just to have a better player on the team or just to have a better chance of winning a game. Like I rather, hey, if it's gonna cost us a few games, so be it. Like I rather just, I don't say be a mid table. I mean, yeah, I'd
yeah,
rather be a mid table team or be lower half of the team if table, if that means sticking to what we believe in and having some um being able to stand up and say no, we don't accept this.
yeah,
But that's what upsets me. Um, along with the other character issues, people do enjoy his football style, his tactics. Um, that was kind of more of a Ange style of football that we were playing that we might see, and we're set up for that versus
yeah,
the pragmatic defensive football that Thomas Frank wanted to play, and then same with Igor Tudor. Um, with Frank, we always thought that we knew he was pragmatic, right? We knew he liked
yeah,
his defense, but there was parts of his game in Brentford which were more attacking, and then also when he was in championship, he was more aggressive, more attacking as well there. When he got to the Prem to survive, he led more of a defensive side.
yeah.
So thinking, okay, well, you're coming over to us after, Ange, we need a little bit more of that because Ange was so far forward with, all offense that
Die
we
by the
needed a little
sword.
bit more of a balance. Yeah. But Thomas Frank, the appointment with that, it just went so haywire. I feel like it was such a drastic difference that it kind of shocked the system, I feel like, and we weren't playing the way we wanted to. Um, he didn't play the way he promised he was going to play. So that was just an awful. I think Thomas Frank isn't a bad manager, but it was just a bad timing. Bad,
Maybe
bad.
a big step too soon. Maybe he should have gone to a mid-table team who
Maybe.
has a bigger name like Everton, Fulham, those type of player teams, and then maybe make that leap to
Well,
a top six. But yeah, I think Thomas Frank's a good coach. I just think it was a big step too soon for him, and it's a learning
I,
curve, and
not
hopefully
just
he'll
the step.
benefit
I
it.
think. I think also a big step and a big change of style. Um, but I think the plan wasn't to play that defensive. I think the plan was to him be able to have a little bit more freedom to be more attacking. But that wasn't the case. But that is something that De Zerbi will bring. it just like I said, it's just a lot of baggage that comes with it. I wish we would have waited for the summer. I think at this point you have 7 games. What difference is he gonna make, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you
But
look at the
who would you
United.
have wanted then in those
Give me
7
Ben
games?
Davis, Uncle Ben.
Welcome, okay, Uncle Ben. There you go. But
I don't
yeah, I
know, like,
agree. 7 games to get a hire a coach in the last, you know, yeah, the last months of the Prem, I think it's too crazy. Like it does sound like panic, especially with the contract they gave him. I would agree. Wait
yeah.
for the summer. I think you could have survived if you would have got, yeah, Ben
I
Davis or
bet you
something. But
I bet you if we would have waited for the summer and let's say we still signed him in the summer,
yeah,
he probably would have gotten more of a what was probably more of a 2-year deal rather
yeah.
than a 5-year deal, you know?
But now you
Or
can't can him because you signed that.
no.
You have to give him time. Then what's the
I mean,
point of giving him?
we
I
can.
mean, you can, but it just looks bad business. You can offer this guy this amazing, massive contract for this long, and then just to can him in the first year.
Hey,
You know,
hey, you got
it's hard on
paid.
them. Yeah,
Here's your paycheck. Go on. I don't. If it was any other manager, I'd be like, oh, what are we doing? But because it's him, sorry, but
he's gonna
hey,
make you a
you're good to
believer.
go,
He's
buddy.
gonna.
No, no. If there wasn't so much baggage, then yeah. Even if he was outspoken, fine, I could deal with that. We dealt with Conte, you know.
Yeah,
But this is gonna be a tough one to get around. We have a lot of our support groups that
yeah.
are
Split, I believe.
not happy with it, and I don't blame them. You know, I support them. But
In Zerby, we
we
trust
shall
for
see.
now.
I think something that can help, and I don't see this happening, is if he comes out and says, "Hey, listen, I know what I said. Um, I don't know if he apologizes for it, or maybe he defends himself, or he just says, "Hey, this is kind of taken out of context." I was just saying that I defend my players, and I don't know the whole story, so I don't want to, something in
Yeah.
along those lines where it's like, hey, like I know what it looks like, I know what it sounds like, but trust me, if it was the case, if I knew exactly what was going on, I wouldn't be, something along those lines where it's almost like an apology slash explanation.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll happen. Maybe it does. Maybe the board says, hey, we're paying you a lot of money. You need to come out here and explain yourselves because we got a lot of angry fans, and the last thing we want to do is um,
It's either you love me or hate me.
split
You can hate
the.
me all you want as long as I'm winning games. I don't care. He's got money, so hate me all you want. But yeah,
See, that's not what I want. I want a club of culture. A club like it's such a difference because when it's with Pochettino, it was like we're all together. We're all in this as one, and we had our disagreements, but it wasn't like, oh well, I hate you and I hate. It's because that's what it's turning into, where it's like just bitterness within the fan group and with each other, and um, I wish it was better. I wish we got together, right before the Forest game, and it felt real good. I had a good feeling about it, even though we're in a bad situation. There was still a feel good.
yeah.
It felt like okay, this is a family. Like if we go down, we all go down together. But now it's kind of like,
Just bring me down. So then he
it
can get
might just take
fired.
a few weeks. Yeah, if we stay in,
And
it's gonna help it a
then you
little
get the
bit.
World Cup to help you forget about it until it ends, and then you're like, oh, this shit again.
No, because then Pochettino's gonna come out and he's gonna be like, "Hey, I'm available. What's going on?" And we're like, "Ah, shoot, we got this freaking crazy manager.
Italian.
Sorry, dude." And then he goes, "Yeah, okay, well, I guess I go to United." And that's gonna break hearts.
Who that will? Oh, I'm like, you're manifesting it? Do you see something?
No, I think he'll go to, or I think Michael Carrick might end up with the position
I mean, it all
in
depends on
United.
Luis
I don't know
Enrique. I
why.
mean, if he said he's leaving, but I think he could be persuaded. But I mean, Manchester United he does want a challenge, and that looks like a challenge. But yeah, I give it to Carrick, honestly. Maybe give him a 2-year contract. You know, he's look at what he's done compared to Ruben Amorim, who had what 2.5 years,
Mhm.
and look at where they are now, and the very few games that he's took over. But well, you're stuck with De Zerbi for now. You
Um,
gotta start practicing your Italian so you can curse him out
right.
in Italian
Yes.
when he's playing horribly.
Arrivederci. Um, Luis Enrique, I'm just reading because I knew I heard something about this, but I guess it's true. He's actually extending his contract. So he'll be with PSG just a little bit longer.
Well, there you go.
Ooh, well, we still got, what is it, 2 more weeks? The rest of this week, then next week, and then we get back to the Prem. But for now, we are on international break. Apparently, Pat thinks
Yeah.
he has a break too, and
He was just like the
I guess it's
Arsenal players. He faked an injury so he can go, back. But that's what he does. Whatever. Don't worry. We got this.
we'll handle it. I guess
Yeah.
he's celebrating prematurely. He's celebrating because Man City might get relegated, and
Oh my
they're gonna
God.
gift Arsenal the trophy. And you know what? It's okay because then there's always gonna be an asterisk next to that.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
we
look
won
on
it
the
in
bright side.
2026.
And if that does happen, Spurs will be saved from relegation.
Nah, because we already signed Deserbi and that, so we're just send us down.
And now
Maybe if he
everyone's
sends us
leaving.
down, he'll
Bernardo
leave.
Silva's leaving. Who else is leaving from Manchester City? Forgot.
I think that's all I saw.
Yeah, maybe it was all, but we'll see. Maybe Haaland, once he goes down, like, well, I ain't playing in the National League. Forget this.
All right.
Go to PSG. They got the money for him. There you go. Real Madrid
Tottenham.
with De Zerbi. Ooh, maybe. I'm just gonna say De Zerbi because I know that you love hearing his name.
So more on some Italian news.
Ooh.
After celebrating prematurely,
Mamma mia.
the Italian national team has been disqualified from the World Cup after losing to Bosnia in penalties. They were celebrating because they're like, hey, we got Bosnia next. We're going to the World Cup. But joke's on them. I wish they were. I think Italy deserves to be, not deserves, but I miss seeing them in the World Cup.
The history between them, they're World
Yeah,
Cup
they have a lot
winners. Adidas got their jersey, World Cup jersey for nothing. You can get it for a nice, half off price, I bet soon. But yeah, I think it's just when you want a World Cup, a tournament of that importance, you want those big teams to join, and it's sad to see
Yeah.
Italy missing
This is
out
their
again.
third time. 2018, 2022, and then 2026. Sucks. But we have a lot of first timers.
Ooh, yeah.
Congo, I think, is going in. Sweden just qualified.
Yeah.
Who qualified also?
Turkey as well. They just beat Kosovo, who made. I mean, it would have been nice if Kosovo that would have been their first appearance, but they
Kosovo.
did good enough. But yeah, Turkey, Czechia beat Denmark. Another one that went to penalties. It's a close game, but yeah. And then you got Iraq is gonna play against Bolivia to get the last qualifying spot. But Bolivia, I mean, a team that
Hey, Pat.
hardly makes it.
Yeah, right.
Has a chance.
Pat,
there you go.
Where's Chile?
Chi. Le. No va. The World Cup.
Just like on this episode, they are not showing
represented.
So Colombia is qualified, Ecuador is qualified,
Yeah.
Argentina, Brazil. It's I'm trying to see who's all in. England, obviously, Japan. There's a lot of good teams to watch. This World Cup, I think they extended the roster, so I think we have 3 more spots left, or 3 more players that can join their team.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, they moved it up. Give him another lucky fan. I mean, not a fan, another player a chance to represent. because I mean, it's the U.S. It's going to be hot. That's what a lot of players are complaining about when they came here to play the what was it, the Gold
Yeah.
Cup or the
The World Cup,
yeah
La Copa America.
yeah complaining about the heat. But there's other things they're going to complain about as well besides the heat. But it's just not looking really good for the World Cup in the USA. And I'm like excited. Finally, the World Cup is in the USA. I have a chance to go because the last one was what, like 94, 98?
Yeah,
You know, I wasn't, I didn't even know much about it, but I finally have the chance to go, and it's a cloud of controversy. You know, a dark cloud
94.
is over it. Yeah, so we had the
94. Isn't that
the Stars and Stripes, the blue? It was
that's
like
when
denim look. Alexi Lalas.
Escobar own goal.
Oh, and then he was ripped apart when he came back home.
But he was killed when he got back home. That's when all the Colombian team was gonna. Well, I don't want to say they were favorites, but they were a really good team back in '94.
Oh yeah.
There's a documentary called Escobar and Escobar, or Escobar versus Escobar.
Oh yeah.
It's on Netflix, and you can see that the amount of death threats that they're receiving if they didn't win, and they came out to the World Cup, and we had a great team that year. I mean, I wasn't alive. I mean, I was alive.
Yeah.
But at 4 years old, I wasn't really. I don't remember it, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But
we have a chance to actually go to one, and now it's just so.
Here we are, 22 years later. The opportunities at our front door, you know. But there's a lot lingering. There's a lot of issues that are going on with this World Cup here in the U.S. Should we go over the teams that are available, or should we is that too much?
You got them all down?
Yeah, I got 47 of them.
Ooh, 47. Oh, yeah, because we're missing one more.
I'll just go real quick and then we'll get into the issues.
Or just hit the big ones and a couple of, sleepers.
Make sure you give your team a shout out when you hear their name. It's like the Bad Bunny during the Super Bowl commercial.
Oh, yeah. We're America.
Brazil, Mexico, USA. So we got Canada, Mexico, USA, the host of the 2026 World Cup. Then we have Australia, Iran. We'll come back to that later. Japan, Jordan, Korea, Qatar, Saudi, Uzbekistan. I hope I said that right. Algeria, Cabo Verde, Congo, DR, Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, Egypt, Ghana, Morocco, Senegal, South Africa, Tunisia. I can't pronounce that.
Oh, what?
Haiti, Panama, Krakow.
Krakow? What are you talking about? I gotta see the list. Krakow? The heck?
I feel like I know their name, but I just hold on. This is bad.
Krakow.
Why don't you tell me to? No, it's not.
You should have just skipped. Skip them.
Curacao.
Oh, Curacao. Yeah.
Curacao.
Oh, okay. Now I know.
Argentina, Brazil, Colombia. Let's pretend like that didn't happen. Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador, Paraguay, Uruguay, New Zealand, Austria, Belgium, Bosnia, Croatia, Czechia.
Yeah.
England, France, Germany, Netherlands, Norway, Portugal, Scotland,
Ooh.
Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Turkey, and then the winner of what you said tonight's game, right?
Iraq and Bolivia played at 11 o'clock in an hour and a half from now. But yeah,
nice.
They will decide the last position.
I want Bolivia to go.
I think I would love to see Bolivia go. I mean, because if Iran is having problems, what do you think Iraq will probably have the same thing? Whatever. We'll get into that stuff, but yeah. I think Bolivia would be nice. They've been left out for the World Cup for a long time, and to make an appearance would be nice for them. Another South American team representing.
Yeah. Because they did have a good showing in the qualifiers, and I think they're pretty good in the Copa America, or not good, but better than they usually do.
Yeah.
exactly. Especially when you have teams like Chile and Peru in that. So that is good. So going back into what I was saying earlier, the issues that
Oh,
are
issues.
being foreseen in this World Cup that might put a damper on it. I was excited for this when it was coming out, even the lead up to it, up until about 12 months ago. I'm not gonna say any names. I'm not gonna say what happened,
Oh yeah,
but we can kind of guess what happened. Little over, yeah, about 12 to 15 months ago, things kind of changed, and I don't think it's fully the U.S.'s fault. I do put a lot of the blame, equal blame, I should say, on FIFA and on what's that dude's name? Gianni
yeah.
Infantino. I think he is doing the sport a little bit of an injustice. I think FIFA would be better off without him in that position. But if you ever get a chance, there is a FIFA documentary
Oh yeah, Netflix
out there too, and it just goes over the corruption, and it's crazy how corrupt this place is.
and
I don't
even
know if it
seeing it
still is,
now,
but
even seeing it
yeah,
live with giving
with all
peace
the
peace with the Nobel Peace Prize, the FIFA Peace Prize.
yeah, right.
What is that? You know?
And then how some of these countries get their host, they're becoming hosts of these World Cups. It's a little fishy. It's like, huh, what under the table deals are we doing out here?
Exactly. But I mean, it's sad to see. It should be FIFA. Soccer in general is what unites people. It's everyone
Exactly.
plays it.
A
People
world
play it on
sport.
the streets. Yeah, exactly. This is the biggest sporting event in the world. Forget
Yeah.
the Super Bowl, which people say is the biggest,
Or the Olympics.
the Olympics, the World Series. It's not even the World Series; it's the U.S.
No.
Series. Whatever. But
Exactly.
this is the biggest sporting event in the world. Everyone plays, and you get a chance
Millions of
to
people travel.
yeah, and it's supposed to unite everyone. And I think what a better place to do it in the USA, which is a mix of every country. Yeah, a melting pot. All the teams that are playing are represented in the US. But go ahead.
Was a melting pot.
Was a melting pot. Yeah. No. They put the lid on, and now no one's coming in. Yeah, but I think this is the opportunity to show to give the US the ability to show that football or soccer, as we call it in the USA, is an important sport and that is growing among us.
Exactly.
And it's just being destroyed by what is going on with all these current events that are happening with rules, ice, and all these things that are out of control that people can't control in a sense.
Trigger warning, or just a warning. We might get a little political in this episode. Not that I like to get political, but there's certain things that we will talk about
related to this.
Yeah.
It's sadly,
and it's you have a good point because we made so many strides in the sport. In the U.S., the MLS, how it keeps expanding, how rapidly it's growing. I think it's one of the fastest growing sports in the world right now. Or not sports, but fastest growing. What am I trying to say? Organizations, sporting organizations.
Yeah.
So the MLS it just grows. It's the rate of its growing is it's the fastest of any sport right now. And then you have the women's league and everything. It's growing. The interest in the sport is growing.
Expansion teams are showing up every year. Yeah. So we have our teams and we're not just getting the retirees from Europe anymore. They're coming in a little younger. We're not getting them at the very
and we got some of the young guys
here
who are being scouted and then they're being sent overseas. But then you have the issues that we're having now, and then I feel like we're taking 2 steps backwards because we're once again we're being mocked for this, like, oh, who do these guys think they are? And look at what they're doing to the World Cup, and I think we had the Club World Cup where we had our issues. We had La Copa America a few years ago.
These are previews, to get us ready for the World Cup. And if you see the problems that are happening there, just imagine what's going to happen at the World Cup.
exactly, and that's supposed to prep us, right? Get the fields ready, get the stadiums ready, get the security ready. You know, like, hey, this is a preview of what's going on. We have a list of stuff to improve. Let's go ahead and improve them because the World Cup is going to be 10 times bigger than these tournaments. You know, and
We're gonna make money off of
unfortunately,
this if it's done right, and that's what we need. I mean, that's the point of it
so
as well.
I have a list of things to
Ooh,
talk about
I have a list too.
from more serious to less serious. Where should we start?
Let's start with the more serious. We're at the
Okay,
halfway
so
point
the less
in the show.
right. So the less serious stuff that we'll talk about later, the pricing of it all, the commentary, and like we just talked about some of the issues on the field issues, right? But the more serious things right now is so this is so Giovanni Infantino, that's his name, right? Infantino. He says
Yeah.
that the world um is going to be welcomed in the in America, right? When they announced that this is going to be in the USA slash Mexico slash Canada.
Yeah.
But right now, with the climate of what's going on, with ICE agents everywhere, with the immigration policies that's going on right now in the U.S., where people are being picked off the streets because of what they look like, what they sound like. To me, that is like the biggest issue, or one of the biggest issues we have right now, right? Because
Yeah.
as a tourist, like, what's going through your head? Like, oh man, like, do I really want to risk it going out there with this? You know, like, how are these agents going to be acting? What policies? How strict is it going to be with them? You know, and also it just gives a bad, like, this is a world sport, like you were saying, it's
Yeah.
supposed to unite us, and this is just doing the opposite,
Yeah.
complete opposite, and um, yeah, I it's hard.
It is hard. And it sucks. It's just, thinking about it, people, what's it called? Spain, England, all these fans from other countries, Argentina. This is something they probably planned, take vacation days, save money for. Hotels are going to be expensive, even countries in Africa. I'm not, maybe I'm just maybe speaking bad because I don't know much about it, but I mean, I guess it's a lot of money for them to buy a ticket to come here and to get a hotel, and then to get picked off of ice, you lose all that money. Your time is wasted. I just think it's a bad look. You're supposed to come to a country and feel joy because you're gonna go see your team play
Yeah,
that you've been watching, cheering for, and then am I can I go? I have all these doubts, like, am I gonna fully enjoy this? No, because you're always gonna be
because
looking behind your shoulder, every time you see someone
exactly.
in a what's it called, uniform, you're gonna, be afraid, and it's taking away the joy of this game that is supposed to be
Exactly.
enjoyed across the world, but
People people are gonna be like, "Oh, well, just have your passport on you, have this on you." Okay, but it, if it
still
was
doesn't
as simple as
matter.
other countries where it's like, because I was just in Japan, and they're like, carry your passport because they might ask you to check your credentials. Cool, but I knew that they weren't gonna throw me to the floor. I knew that they weren't gonna point a gun at me. I knew that they weren't gonna frisk
Yeah.
me and you know arrest me and ask questions later. You know, and that's the fear that's here, where it's like, where people aren't able to explain themselves, people aren't given an opportunity to show their documentation and whatnot, and
And even the
it's a
language. Let's,
yeah,
these ICE agents are gonna speak English, and they're gonna have someone who doesn't understand the language. Guess what? I don't understand you. You're being carried away. It's gonna be such a mess with all this.
yeah. So in my case, well, not my case, but if I could see people being like, you know what, I don't want to risk the trauma, the financial burden that might
Yeah.
happen. Like, I'd rather just, I'm gonna stay where I'm at and watch it. And there's countries that I want to say that are on a list that
Yeah,
if
there
they
are
did want to
some.
come into this, they're gonna have to leave like a $15,000 deposit.
Yeah, per person, and then added on the cost of transportation, hotels, the tickets to enter the game, depending on the preference you know, whatever the pricing schedule is about that, it's going to be too much. These people don't have
Yep.
that type of money. And it's not worth it. At that point, I'll just buy me a TV, set it up in the house, and spend that money on what, and you
Yeah.
know, watching it in the comfort of my home.
This is also one of those things um, that I always have an issue with when it comes to American sports is it becomes very commercialized. It becomes how much money can we make off the supporters and the fans. Uh, the way they price at stadiums, even just getting a beer at a stadium, a hot dog, pizza, whatever it may be, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. Everything's very commercialized, and um, it's all about money, money, money. How
That's
can we
what.
capitalize on how much money we can make? And then that's what becomes the center focus. It's no longer, hey, how can we make this a world sport where everybody comes included? It's like, no, how can we empty out their pockets and fill our own pockets? And I remember when I was living in Germany, going to Kaiserslautern to watch a football game, and you would get, I think it was like 3 or 4 beers you can get for like $20, and then if you go back and you bring back the cups, they give you a deposit back, so that you can put that towards, you know,
The next beer.
another uh 3 4 beers, and you're basically paying street prices in the stadium, and the prices for the tickets themselves are cheap. There were Division Two, but still, like the USL here, it still costs you about $40 to get in, and um, nowhere near as competitive as
Yeah.
the Bundesliga 2 is. Um, so that the price gouging to me is crazy. The How much hotels go up, how much parking goes up, um,
Taxis,
whatever host
Ubers, all
city.
that stuff is gonna
Ex-
go
hmm
high.
And then you have like the tourist fees, and then you have all these fees that the hotels start tacking on, and we don't have the type of, like you say, Ubers and cars rentals, because we don't have the infrastructure that some of these other countries have with like their rail systems, the metros. We live so far, it's a big country, so that might not be
Oh, that's true.
realistic,
Time
but
difference and everything like that. It's gonna be a lot for certain people who are not used to
mhm,
how many time zones do we have in the USA? It's gonna be it's that's something to taking it into account as well.
yeah, and I just wish it wasn't just about money. Like I said, I blame FIFA for this too. I don't think it's just the US. I think it's FIFA saying, "Hey, you know what? We have this opportunity because look at how the US treats the Super Bowl. It's just a money bag. Let's do that with the World Cup,
Which is
and
why we're having a halftime show, right? I think we're getting a halftime show.
that's why we have commercials in the middle of the game. Why are we having commercials in the middle of the game? When have you seen commercials? Watching the Champions League, one of the world's most like broadcasted events. And I'm not talking about just the final. I'm talking about the games that those Tuesday night, Wednesday night games. You don't see commercials then. You'll see them during halftime, but other than that, the game's left alone. But the Club World Cup, what do we have? Commercials.
Everything is.
The the Copa America commercials. So it's
The only thing I'll say
it's a
is
difficult.
the tailgating will be fucking awesome. You're gonna have so many good food over there. That's gonna be I can just see people getting the
That's true.
grills out, you know. You're gonna get some if you got Brazilian, some churrasco, some Argentinian grilling meats, some empanadas, some you're gonna it's gonna be it's gonna be great. But I mean that's if those certain people are allowed to go and if they're,
Yeah, right. Because and that's another thing. So right now with what's going on with the U.S. and the Middle East, we are at war with
yeah,
Iran. What's security going to look like? Iran qualified, but
they're still
now
not sure if they're
I don't
gonna
think they're going to
yeah.
be here. Yeah. You got other teams. Who else is thinking? There's someone else who was they were thinking that they weren't going to be allowed. I don't know, the Senegal or
Oh,
um
there was travel bans for Haiti,
Oh
Iran,
yeah,
Senegal, and Ivory Coast, I believe. Yeah, they have the
yeah,
travel
the travel
bans.
bans.
Yeah,
So I don't know if that means just on the tourists coming to watch the games, or does it apply to the teams?
I think that's something they have to work
Both,
out. But I
right?
think that's most. Yeah, I think it's both. But I think that's something they have to work out. But there's gotta. Couldn't you
Because
wait? This is
they're
what
already.
brings money, and you're just. It's like I said. It's just you're gonna have empty stadiums. That's what you're gonna have. And when you're gonna see it on the TV on the big screen, you're gonna see these teams, and then you're going to see the camera pan out, and you're going to see what? Empty stadium. So when there's a chance for another World Cup or a big event in the USA, we're not even going to be looked at because they're going to look at our
I
past,
don't
our,
know.
our, our recent history, and we're going to see this. It doesn't matter who the president is or whatever it is, whatever situation's going on. It's just a bad look in general, and it's
Yeah. The I- we're also have to expand that because over there in Mexico, what a few
cartel
weeks ago they
violence.
had the cartel violence over there in Jalisco, which Guadalajara I think is hosting one of the matches
Yeah.
or is one of the host cities, and so now you got that to deal with.
Canada is the only one
I
that's
haven't heard.
representing nicely. Hats off to Canada, our
Right.
neighbors from the north, man.
Uh, Canada.
Yes, they're very friendly over
Hello.
there.
Lord. So that is another thing to look into. I don't know if they're switching the games. I don't know if they're deeming it safe, but somebody might have thought, well, if I can't get to the U.S., maybe I could get to Mexico.
Yeah.
But now the cartel's out there, and you're like, ooh, do I really want to? What's worse?
Yeah.
What's the worst situation?
Do you want to
But,
go to the stadium when you see the armed forces are, patrolling the streets and stuff like that? Oh,
right.
yeah, it's you're not going to enjoy it. It's going to
But
be
people still
scary.
vacation out there, so who knows? You always want to check the climate before going out there. So
Yeah, exactly.
we'll see what happens. But I think those are the heavier topics. We probably could dive into a whole episode of all this. We're just scraping the top, and
maybe
don't wanna
when we
get too
get
deep
closer to
into
the
it and
World Cup,
too
we'll have
reflective.
more information.
Maybe.
Yeah, we got time. Prem
I
will be
hope so. I
done.
hope things do change a little bit, just so that we can feel that joy again of the World Cup.
Yeah.
But a few things that we can work on, it's like we mentioned earlier, the conditions of the field, like hard dimensions of the field. How are they looking? The commentating. Oh gosh, the commentators, the pundits. This is the stuff that makes us look like a bit of that stuff that we have to take in account, and that we, as
I'd rather watch Telemundo than watch the Americans commentate.
Yeah.
That's how bad it is. And I don't like watching and I don't like hearing the Spanish commentators because they're very biased to Mexico. But it's just the American commentators are the worst. And
towards Mexico, I feel like they're just towards Argentina. Like Messi can't do any wrong. That's how I see it.
yeah, but I mean,
When you have,
whenever they play, it's
Telemundo.
mostly or Unimas or whatever. But it's just I'd rather watch it on mute. That's how bad it is. And I don't know. I think we saw the list of the 25 more important players for this World Cup, and number
Most
6
influential.
was Christian Pulisic of the USA. And these are American commentators who do not know nothing about the sport of football, who are mostly talk about basketball, football, American football, and stuff like that. And they're and just hearing them talk about Pulisic.
It's like they want to be relevant.
Yes. They want to catch on to this, like, jump on the fad on this train because it's coming in, and they want to make it seem like they know their stuff, but it's just horrible. Christian Pulisic is above Harry Kane. It's just like, really? Do you guys even
Harry
know?
Kane, one of the best strikers in the world.
Yeah.
for a few years now.
Yes.
And then Weston McKennie, Chris Richards, like, there's way better players. If you want to talk about most U.S. influential players, got it. Make that list.
Yeah.
But you can't have a list with all of the world players and talk about Christian Pulisic. I can't even say
being
his
better
name.
than 19 of them. No, you can't. I understand it's in the USA and you want to, add, make us look good in a way, but you're just making us look worse. Christian Pulisic is good, but he's not better than the players that got him above. And to a certain extent, he's not having the best season in Inter Milan compared to the other players. But yeah, I just think that just shows you their football knowledge. They don't know anything about the sport. And this is what we're going to have to listen to when you're watching this game.
Who? I'm trying to find that list. Who would you say makes your list
What? We're going from one up?
for this up for influential players?
Influential players.
Let me ask you another question before that one. Because Messi was on there, right?
Yeah, Messi was number 1. And I think Cristiano Ronaldo was number 2. I believe, yeah.
That goes to show how.
And I think even Messi said he's not even sure if he's going to play in this World Cup, and yet you still have him on the list.
All right. So what I was going to say before I lost connection is, when you look at this list, they had Messi and Ronaldo in 1 and 2, right? And it goes to show you how disconnected they are from the sport. Because, in my opinion, I feel like that would have been true, last World Cup or the one before that. But at this time, they're hitting that age where, I don't think Messi was even expected to play this World Cup.
Yeah.
And he might be influential. I mean, the refs, if you see how he's using the MLS, if he says it's a penalty, the refs look for their
influential
yellow,
in a way of maybe money, because who doesn't want to see Messi in his last World Cup? That's going to bring
exactly
fans money.
So,
and the last chance to see Messi versus Cristiano Ronaldo as well. A chance to see that.
So I did pull up the list.
Oh, it's so
all
funny.
Right, I'm gonna go through it real quick. So we got Leo Messi at number 1, Cristiano Ronaldo 2, Yamal at 3. I'm not mad about that. I think Yamal could have an influence, is playing for Spain.
Yes.
Then you have Kylian Mbappe at number 4, Haaland. But Haaland, influential for
Norway?
Let's say Mbappe. I think Mbappe, you could argue for him for number 1 on that French team,
Yeah.
And then you have Christian Pulisic at number 6.
I think he just makes it 25. He's like the one who enters it, who you start off from him. I don't see him in the top 10.
I feel like there might be even on the U.S. team, there might be more players that are more influential on that U.S. team. Then you have Vinicius Jr., Harry Kane. Come on, Harry Kane with England. I could put him in number 1 or number 2. I think he's one of the. You guys might disagree, but I think he's been one of the world's best strikers in the last few years. Unfortunately, his time at Tottenham, I think, would have brought him down. If he was wearing a different jersey with the same stats, it would be a completely different story. People will be making statues of this dude. I think Harry Kane is one of the best strikers that we will see, and we have. I won't say have seen, but he's a great striker now. You know. Yeah, who do you have? Dembele, Modric. I mean, he's pushing 30.
I wouldn't put him in there. I think he's like, if you'd go in the same bracket as Messi and Ronaldo.
Exactly. With Croatia, I haven't seen Croatia lately, but we don't have the cast around you. That's kind of difficult. Virgil van Dijk, Heung-min Son, Jamal Musiala.
Maybe him because he's a young guy.
But he's coming off of injury. Is he going to play? Is he back?
Yeah.
Jude Bellingham, who I don't think he got called up lately. He's been on the decline. This list is. But look at
this list is
Bruno
more
Fernandes.
Who can sell more shirts. That's what it is. It's like
you got Bruno Fernandes at 21.
All right, maybe that's fitting. I just don't like him in general.
No, I don't either. But come on, if I offered you Bernis Fernandez or Christian Pulisic, who are you gonna take?
Todd, don't make me choose. I hate
Yeah, you gotta
Fernand,
pick.
but I'd
You
pick
can't just pick.
Bruno.
Rafinha. You have Rafinha at
And
at
he
23,
was the
runner up for
but yeah, the Ballon
Ballon
d'Or,
d'Or.
and you got him right there. That's you see this. Those people don't know.
Bukayo Saka, and trust me, I hate
He's
everything Arsenal.
he's not up there. He hasn't.
But
He's
for England, like when you talk about club, sure, but you're talking about national teams. I feel like who's a better I won't say who's a better right winger, but who competes with him at the right wing at this stage, you know? I'm
oh,
telling you, and plus the
but
cast
he's
that they have, you know, like you have Kane in the middle, you have Bukayo Saka on the right. Who's playing left wing for them? Or how I don't even know how they're formed up, but
I don't even know honestly. I can't even think of
uh,
who's on the Anthony Gordon. Maybe he's on the right, but yeah, I just can't think of anyone honestly. We have to look it up.
oh, they lost to Japan today.
Yeah, 1-0.
Yeah.
What's it called? Mitoma from Brighton.
Mitoma. The guy just
go. Brighton, another De Zerbi connection. There you go.
Marcus Rashford.
I totally forgot about him because he's in Barcelona.
Barcelona. But yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. We there are people that know about the sport in this country, but there's a look at FanFest. We're going to FanFest, and I'm sure a lot of those we have a lot of players that are supporters of English teams and of the world sport. You know, who follow the MLS and the Premier League. You know, and they know more. But these pundits come out, and these pundits just make us look because we're all tied together. You know, well, he's American, you're American. Hey, guess what? You're all
they represent us in a way.
Yeah, they represent us. It's like, oh, come on, guys. But that's something we should work on. I think that's not just a World Cup issue. I think that's a matter of how fast this sport grows or how large this sport grows here in the US. Surprisingly, I've met a lot of people who actually know a lot more of the sport than I thought they did. You know, just talking casually to, you know, coworkers and other people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, oh you follow Tottenham? Oh man, sucks for you." I'm like, "Oh,
oh wow,
how are you giving me shit right now? I don't even. How do you know how to give me shit? You know, like what the heck?"
I just met you.
So exactly, I'm like, the fuck? Excuse my language. But at the end of the day, I'm still excited. I'm still gonna be watching.
Hopefully, you
I don't know if I'll
go
be
to one of these
any.
games, but you know, we'll see.
I don't know if I'll do
a lot
all
can
that.
change by then. I hope.
That's
in a
true.
good way.
Do you have any dark horses or any teams you're willing to bet on to go all the way?
I had some, but unfortunately, they didn't make it. But I maybe just because I'm a little, because I'm wearing the jersey, but I do feel like Ecuador could make a deep run because look at what they've done in South America. They've held their own against Argentina and Brazil. I think they're in third place out of that group, and which is difficult. We've had a good run. We have a solid defense, a good midfield. I think it could cause some trouble to some big teams. But as a dark horse, I mean, it'd be stupid to say USA, but I feel like USA could, at least get out of the group and cause some trouble. We do have some good players, but I just don't think we'll see what Pochettino does with them. But yeah, I think Japan is always a dark horse. They always play well.
Yeah, they do, and they're on a hot streak. I think they went undefeated.
Yeah, but anyone else that I can think of that comes to mind, like you said, there's so many teams there. It's just hard to choose without picking the usual suspects. But
yeah, I think Germany might go far in this one. I know they were eliminated early. It was pretty early last time, right?
Yeah.
But I think with Nagelsmann, I think they are going to be pretty good. I think Verts, the way he plays,
Oh
on this
yeah.
German national team.
How come we just can't play like that for Liverpool?
Right? No, thank you. Um, I feel like they have a good opportunity. I'm excited to see them play. They have a good group, which unfortunately Ecuador's in their group.
I know.
But you can see it.
We're getting second though. We're getting second.
Yeah, I was saying you can see them advancing. Netherlands, I don't feel like they're gonna. I feel like they always disappoint.
They're like the Belgium dream team. You know,
Yeah.
they just can't. They always falter in a way.
They have Japan, Sweden, and Tunisia in their group, so I can see Japan, Sweden going. I can see Netherlands, Japan, or Netherlands,
Yeah.
Sweden. I think that's gonna be a good group. F is a good. Blah, well, can't even talk. Good group to watch. Group H, you got Spain,
Oof.
Saudi, and Uruguay. I think
Who's the
Spain
fourth?
could be another good team to watch.
Uruguay, depends.
Uruguay is one of those. If they're playing good, they're playing good. You know.
Yeah.
Especially
Especially
seeing
what
them.
Valdez, who
Valdez.
from Real Madrid, Valverde. He's Uruguayan and he's super. He's in fine form right now.
Federico Valverde.
Yeah.
And then your favorite, Darwin Nunez.
Yeah.
I don't know if Bentancur is gonna make it. I think he's still coming off of surgery. Let's see what other group. Ooh, Group K.
What is that? Your group?
Portugal, Congo, Uzbekistan, and Colombia. Colombia.
You can make it.
See. I think we can make it. I think we could beat Portugal. That's gonna be a good game to watch.
I know that's the thing. I feel like our teams respectively, I think we can get out of the group stages, and we can. I think we'll be trouble for any team that we face.
Yeah. England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama.
Ghana is always trouble, but it should be Croatia and England. I feel like Croatia always does something against England. I feel like they might get first, and England might just end up getting second. Right. They just seem to falter in the World Cups. They have so many high expectations, the golden generation, and all this stuff, and they just seem to never match the hype. You know, the trophy's coming home, right? It hasn't come home. It's in '66.
I honestly do think England can make it far. I think England
I think so too.
And Germany.
I always root for them, but they just tend to break my heart.
I think they're gonna get to. I can see them both in the semis.
Yeah, depends what the bracket looks like and who they have to face moving on into
That's true.
The round of 16, the quarterfinals, and all that. But
remember when Brazil used to be the powerhouse team? I used to have the FIFA World Cup games growing up, and the Brazil teams were always just stacked. You had a great bench.
Anyone just they 11. Had everyone that named with that started with the letter R. Yeah. Ronaldo, Roberto Carlos, Romario, you know, the list goes on. Cafu, Ronaldinho. They were a cheat code, man.
Yeah, they were.
And now
and if you weren't playing with
sad how they don't have that fright factor anymore, like how they used to do back in the day.
They're in the group with Morocco, Haiti, and Scotland.
Morocco could cause trouble.
Yeah,
I think Morocco and Scotland could cause them trouble. I'm not sure about what Haiti. Yeah, thank you for participating.
Might not even be there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, with the band. We'll see. Yeah. What happens then? What do you got? You got you're gonna go pick up one of these teams: Kosovo, Poland, Denmark, or Italy. Are you like you're on the reserve just in case? How does this work with? I mean, I think that's what they're trying to. That's something they have to figure out.
I want to say those teams play each other or something, like the losers. I think they play each other. And I wonder if that's like to put them in a certain ranking to see who goes first, like a queue. in case the team can't make it.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. Like I said, even though it's a bit of a downer, it's such a big event. Um, like I had mentioned when we were kind of doing our intros, it's national football team, the national sport, like the Colombian national team is what really was, from what I remember, like watching sport, just in sports in general. Is It started with football. It started with the Colombian national team, always watching it, national pride. And um so it's always exciting when the World Cup comes around, or La Copa America, where you bring, you get away from club football and now you're back into the national team. And
It brings a little of
especially
your
one of the
country
biggest.
to you. It brings a little,
Exactly, yeah.
and it's nice. You get that home feeling, and it's good to see that. And whenever you see it in in the stadiums, or in the parking lot, or at a restaurant, wherever there's a crowd, you can just,
Yeah.
it's a party. They bring a little bit of Colombia or whatever, England, Argentina to the U.S. and it's a scene, bro. It's
I
beautiful.
was not to
Oh,
keep bragging, but when I
brag.
was stationed overseas for the 2018 World Cup. So I was there for the 2016 Europa, the Euros.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was there for the 2016 Euros. 2 years later, it was the 2018 World Cup. I think France won it that year, and it was crazy. It's the same thing. It's you go out on a game day and you'll see all these players, or all these supporters. All the French guys here, all the Argentinian guys over there. It was fun, and I hope we can have that here. But we shall
Without any
see.
disturbance from said ice, but
Yeah.
one can hope, check your surroundings at least before.
Yeah.
And if you're going to enjoy responsibly. Make sure you can run away just in case.
Right.
Advice, learn some English, just in case, because that's probably going to be the rules now. You gotta, since English is the official language of America, you know, probably recommend learning a few what's it called, phrases.
I mean, I didn't go to Japan knowing how to say phrases. I knew how to say hello
Yeah.
and yes and no.
You just bow, right? That's it. That's
Yeah.
he's good. He's good. He's good.
Konnichiwa.
But
Uh,
whatever. Hopefully things can change for the better. We still have some time, but yeah,
I can't.
I already
I still
feel
can't find
a little bit
the.
down that it's not gonna be the best World Cup experience
Yeah,
with all this stuff happening.
it's weird. I can't find Chile's group.
Oh, maybe Pat knows where they're at.
Oh, they didn't qualify. That's right.
Yes. There you go, Pat.
Sorry, not sorry.
Gotta put salt in the wounds.
He's still talking about Alexis Sanchez and
Yeah, what's it called?
what's the Mohawk guy's
Arturo
name?
Vidal. That's it with the
Yeah.
Mohawk. That's it. Claudio Bravo. That's it. What
Yeah.
we beat Argentina in the finals twice, amigo. That's like you and your what's it called? Invincibles, bro. That's done. You're nobody now. Now you get to be a fan and just watch. You got to root for one
Right.
of us. It's probably gonna root for America now because they don't want to
One
pick
of
Colombia or
us.
Ecuador.
One of us.
Yeah, there you go.
Did I tell you who my dark horse is?
No, I was gonna ask you, who's your dark horse? Who's your come on.
Sí, Colombia.
What with
Sí,
James?
Caribe. Jaime. I mean, he. I will give it to Jaime Rodriguez. When it comes to playing on the national team, he's a whole different player. And then we have Luis Diaz, Richard Rios. I don't know who we have in goal. I don't think it's Ospina.
Ospina still plays?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, is he like
but Muñez? Hopefully Muñez doesn't get a red card, so he can still
true.
play. I think we have a competitive squad. I don't think it's the best squad,
but you can
in the tournament. But it's not a matter of it's always part luck, part talent. When it comes to the World Cup, because England could get eliminated by some other team, so we don't have to play England. I mean, they knocked us out in 2018, but they might have a number, and maybe the team that beats them and we go against, maybe we can have their number. So it's
That's the thing. People thinking about this game. Anyone can win any other day, any given day, and that's what it is. We'll see.
How come we don't say
the
about
best
that about Spurs?
Spurs, because we know Spurs. They're Spursy. They have a word for that.
Oh, I just forgot we got a new manager.
De Zerbi. De Zerbi. Learn your Italian.
I hope.
Buonanotte.
Io parlo italiano. I speak a little Italian. I took Italian for 4 years. Io ho studiato italiano nella scuola per 4 anni.
All I know is to say, "Io cercando lavoro come cuoco." That's it.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
I'm looking as a job as a cook. That was all I did in Italy, looking for a job.
Scusi.
Oh, Michael Richards? Scusi.
And that is an episode. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Rivals on the Pitch International Break Edition. Hopefully your team is going to the World Cup. Let us know what team that is and why you think your team will make it to the finals. Let us know what you think about the De Zerbi signing. Do you agree with it? Are you on my side or are you on their side? You decide. And tune in next week. No. Tune in next week where we go over match week. I'm unprepared.
31?
Match week 31 or 32. Where we kick things back up for the final 7 games of the season. And make sure you hit that like, subscribe, follow on our Instagram, YouTube, Spotify at Rivals on the Pitch. And we'll see you guys next week.
See ya. Ecuador.
Colombia.
No Chile, sorry.